A stalled point in the refugee wave sweeping Europe has opened as a train leaves the Budapest train station bound for the Austrian border. There was a scramble at the station earlier this morning when the doors were finally opened after 2 days. Hungarian officials had insisted all passengers needed proper visas and papers along with valid train tickets. Joining us on the line from Budapest is CTV's Paul Workman, who I believe is inside the train station. Tell us what the latest is there, Paul.
There are quite a number of people now camped out inside the station, as they were a couple of days ago, waiting for the next train. A train that is probably coming, but they have no idea when or where it might be going. The train this morning that left was jam-packed. There was a stampede, a mad rush to get into the station when the police who were guarding it disappeared. That train went as far as the border with Austria, and that's where we believe the migrants were let off. They were not being allowed, apparently, across the Austrian border. All trains, all international trains out of the station this morning are not running. People are waiting for trains that do not exist.
Paul, we're looking at pictures now of people just trying to push themselves onto that train, just one over the other. Apparently, the train that left a little while ago. You've been talking to some people, to some families. What are they telling you?
Well, people were reluctant to get on that train and also anxious to get on that train. They wanted to move somewhere, hoping that once they get to the border, they could perhaps walk across, sneak across, make their way into Germany that way. So there were people who were, slightly nervous. They wanted to go, but they weren't sure where they were going to be able to go. I just spoke to a young man from Afghanistan who missed the train this morning. He was waiting for his friends to join him. He's now sitting on the quay here, waiting for the next train, and he says he will get on it no matter where it goes.
As the world watches these pictures, Paul, politicians try to come up with answers. There's a meeting that's happening today. Is it Hungary that's taking the lead?
Hungary is taking the lead because it wants much stronger border controls to control immigration. In other words, to make sure that countries in Eastern Europe are not burdened by this mass of people coming. And that's the dispute that's now going on in Europe. It's Eastern Europe versus Western Europe, sort of, to a large degree. I think this morning Hungary withdrew the police from the station because they're not looking very good in the world, the Hungarians, with all of these poor people who are here trying to get to Germany and they're not being allowed to go. So I think as much as anything this morning, there was some public relations involved in trying to improve Hungary's image. It is on the borderline, the front line, with all of these immigrants coming here, and they are burdening this country.
CTV's Paul Workman inside the train station in Budapest. We will talk to him next hour. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thanks, Marcy.